What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully, y'all are having a great start to your day. Wow, I got a lot to talk to y'all about today, and I thought I was going to be able to organize it quicker than it took me to organize it. Because not only did I have to write the scripts, I also had to make the graphics for it, and that took, for some reason, that took way longer today than normal. And so my apologies for being a little bit late. But we are here and we gonna talk about some women's hoops. So again, thank y'all so much for rocking with me and waiting on me as I got myself together today. Because yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. And every day I have a theme of the show. And today's theme, we are going to talk about surprises. That's what we're talking about today. And partially shocking things. Okay, here's the deal, guys. This is a new day. This is a new day in women's basketball globally. And I saw some news come through yesterday that I was like, whoa, that's wild. I didn't expect that. And also, we got some reactions, some more reactions for from yesterday's stream, and I want to talk about that as well. Okay, we're gonna try to get through this without me, rambling like I usually do. So we gonna try to make it happen. Okay, first up, I do want to talk about me being shocked. So, guys, I was shocked because we are witnessing something new in the WNBA. International players who have been here for the longest, basically since the WNBA started, international players make up some of the best and brightest stars in the league in terms of young stars, in terms of potential. A lot of great players on the international stage when it comes to the WNBA. But we are now seeing where some of these stars are actually choosing the WNBA over their national team. It's a new day. And it's not just one or two players. It's actually three players that I want to talk about in this stream. And it could have huge implications for the future of women's basketball, especially the way it's done in Europe. So let's talk about what's happening, who's making these decisions, why it might be good for the WNBA, but a serious, serious blow for European women's basketball. So, first up, let's talk about EuroBasket because EuroBasket is happening. And yeah, I got a lot to say about it. Okay, so what is EuroBasket? EuroBasket is taking place on June the 18th, 2025. It's starting on June the 18th, 2025. It is a tournament that happens every 2 years over in Europe. If you're not familiar with it, you can kind of think of it as like the premier tournament for national teams to go against each other in Europe. All right, it's sort of like the UEFA Euros, but like for basketball. It happens every 2 years and acts as a qualifier for the World Cup and the Olympics. This year, again, as I said, it's June the 18th, 2025. That's when it starts. And I believe for the first time ever, it's actually going to take place in 4 different countries: Chechnya, Germany, Italy, and Greece. Okay. Now, in this stream in particular, I really want to talk about France, but this is all of Europe. A lot of European teams are participating in this, and it's a lot of European countries that have current and previous WNBA representation. So yes, I'm talking about France in this one, but we have a lot of players who are represented. And in a future stream, I will be going through the national team rosters for EuroBasket so I can let you all know what WNBA players are represented on which team. The full list is not put out yet, and so I'm not gonna cover it that much in this stream. I'm just going to talk about the 3 players But the full list I will talk about later. And yeah, anyway. Anyway. All right. There is one team though that you all are probably very familiar with, and that's Team Belgium. This is a team that actually features some players who used to be in the WNBA, some very familiar faces like a Julie Alleman, also Emma Mieseman as well. Both players previously played in the WNBA. The Belgium national team, they are the reigning champs of EuroBasket. They won the last time. Now they're back to try to win it again, and they're looking forward to winning it again. Their current head coach is actually the former Washington Mystics GM, Mike Thibault. Mike Thibault is the current head coach of Belgium, again, formerly of the Washington Mystics. And if you're curious about Belgium's former head coach, it is actually the current Mystics, or I'm sorry, it's actually the current Connecticut Sun head coach, Rashid Mezian. All right, so what I'm trying to get to is that there's a lot of interconnectivity between the WNBA and between European basketball. All right, and so this tournament matters, or at least it has mattered in the past. And that leads me to ... The news. The news that I want to talk about in this stream is that Gabby Williams, Dominique Malonga, and Carla Leite have announced that they will not be suiting up for Team France for 2025. This is huge, huge news. I was expecting all three of these players to play in to play on this France team. I was expecting them all to do that, but not quite. Not quite this year. They were, I believe, Gabby Williams and Dominique Malonga, they were initially on a potential list of players who were going to suit up for EuroBasket, but it turns out that they have all three confirmed that they will not be on Team France. And if you are cheering for Team France, your team is in trouble. Okay? Your team is down bad. All right, Gabby Williams and Dominique Malonga both play for the Seattle Storm, and Carla Leite plays for the Golden State Valkyries. All right, and all three of them have withdrawn their name from playing in EuroBasket for Team France. All right, they are prioritizing their WNBA careers over their national team. Dominique Malonga is the number 2. She was the number 2 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft. She put it plainly, saying it was a difficult decision because the French jersey is very important to me. But she said she decided to stay with the Seattle Storm team because because I think my rookie season is really important and I wanted to leave it all with the team. All right. It was a difficult decision because the French jersey is very important to me. I decided to stay here with the Storm because I think my rookie season is really important and I wanted to leave it all with the team. So that's what Dominique Malonga ended up saying. What about Carla? Carla had a statement as well, and here's what she said. She said, it is with much regret that I must announce that I will not be able to take part in EuroBasket 2025 campaign with the French national team due to my commitments with my WNBA club. I will remain the number 1 supporter of Les Blues and wish them an amazing competition. Yikes. So you have the 2 rookies that are saying, you know what? I am going to prioritize my rookie season in the WNBA instead of playing in EuroBasket. This is a huge deal, guys. And of course, we all know Gabby Williams, one of the most impactful players on the French national team. You all saw what she did in the Olympics this past year, right? Gabby Williams is healthy. She's ready for a full WNBA season, and we thought that she'd be leaving to go to EuroBasket and then come back. But turns out she's like, know what? No, I am staying in Seattle, and we about to rock out. We about to make some noise over here in Seattle. It's a huge shocker, and I kind of want to talk about it because for context, guys, France is the number 2 ranked team in Europe. This is a team that finished second to the U.S. at the Olympics. And the players that are deciding that they don't want to play for the French national team and they instead want to stay in with their WNBA team, these are not fringe players. These are really, really good players. You got the best player, Gabby Williams, saying, I'm staying in the U.S. You have 2 of your best up-and-coming talent to say, you know what, I'm prioritizing my rookie season in the WNBA. You know, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. And in some aspects, a sort of sea change when it comes to international players and the WNBA, especially when it comes to EuroBasket. So, yeah, leads us to wonder why players might be staying for the WNBA. Why are they? Why are we seeing 3 big name players decide to stay in the WNBA during EuroBasket instead of going overseas to their national team? Well, I have 4 ideas, 4 theories to share with you all around why I think that this might be a thing. Well, number 1 is the WNBA prioritization rule. So, players with more than 2 years of experience in the WNBA cannot report to their national teams until 2 weeks before the tournament begins. All right, so again, tournament begins on the 18th. So 2 weeks before that is where the WNBA will allow veteran players to then go overseas, not before that. And if they have less than 2 years experience, then yeah, they can go before that if they like. And there's no penalty in terms of the WNBA. But just having 2 weeks doesn't give players, veteran players, a lot of time to prepare and integrate with their national team because that's just 2 weeks before. According to ESPN, they ended up writing an article that said that the French national team is actually scheduled to begin preparation for EuroBasket this week. They're starting on Sunday. They're starting preparation this week for EuroBasket for the French national team. So, like, if you are a veteran that is able to join 2 weeks before, you're missing out on a lot of prep time with your national team. Also, another idea is roster stability. So there are teams like the Seattle Storm who are dealing with very, very tight rosters. And this is a team that has championship aspirations. Skylar Diggins, I was about to call her Skylar Diggins-Smith. Skylar Diggins, she was recently quoted, basically, I'm going to paraphrase, but she basically said, like, this is the most talented team I've been on, right? And the Seattle Storm has that championship mindset. They're looking to win. And losing key pieces after the season starts, even though for a short time, it could be very costly for this team down the road. And so maybe they're like, actually, we think we can win a championship this year. So we're actually gonna stay in the WNBA and rock out with our team. Career investment could be another thing. You know, for the rookies like Dominique and Carla, you know, this first year in the WNBA kind of sets the tone for their future career going forward, right? If they can have an extremely successful rookie season, that could change their entire career trajectory. So, seems like they're betting on themselves that they can make a big impact on their teams as a rookie instead of playing somewhat limited minutes on the French national team mid-season, like, you know, and doing all that travel. And then fourth, my thought is that maybe this could have something to do with overall visibility and value in the WNBA. So the WNBA is exploding leaps and bounds in popularity. Playing here, staying healthy, staying visible in the U.S. market has never been more valuable for international players, in my opinion, just because the sheer amount of ways to just make money, get sponsorship deals. A lot more people are seeing the product more now than ever, and maybe it's a risk that players are willing to take. Like, hey, this can financially be better for me, staying visible and staying in the WNBA when it comes to the chance of going over to Europe to play in EuroBasket, right? So that could be a thing. That could be a thing. So here's the deal, guys. This is one of those things that I'm curious to hear what you all have to think about it, because I think this is great for the WNBA. The idea that you have top players, again, your number two pick in the WNBA draft. You got another high draft pick that are deciding, you know what, we're gonna stay in the U.S. We're gonna stay with the team that drafted us. We're not gonna go overseas to EuroBasket. Like, this is great for the WNBA. All right, and it's a sign that the league has started to finally earn that kind of priority when that type of priority when it comes to players' lives and their decisions, right? It also gives the league leverage, in my opinion, going into the next round of CBA negotiations, because when players start to turn down international competitions just to stay in market, that's a kind of big deal, you know? But I will say this is a huge blow to national teams. Huge blow to European national teams, especially. Because France is missing 3 high-quality players, including their number 1 player, heading into EuroBasket. They're going to have a rough time in EuroBasket. A rough time. What does that do to their chances? It hurts their chances, definitely. What does that do to the integrity of the tournament? Well, now EuroBasket is not, yes, it's still for the most part the best of the best, but if you start to see more and more WNBA players say, you know what, we're not going to do EuroBasket, we're just going to focus on the Olympics when that comes around. We're not going to, like, EuroBasket, no. Olympics, yes. EuroBasket, no. Well, I think we're going to start seeing the integrity of the tournament in terms of the talent. We're going to start to see that drop down. And it makes me really wonder about the future of this tournament and the way we see it. Because if this trend continues, EuroBasket might be losing some of its prestige, right, in the women's game. It could become sort of like a second tier event overshadowed by the Olympics in the minds of some European players. Because here's the deal. We would see European players play in both the Olympics and EuroBasket for their respective national teams. And if we start to see a trend of more players actually saying, you know what, I'm just going to skip EuroBasket, it could lead to some dominoes, is what I'm trying to say, right? If national team federations cannot attract their best players because of WNBA conflicts, it might lead to consequences down in the future that we cannot anticipate right now. It's just interesting. It's just interesting to talk about, interesting to note. And so I just want to share it with you all. You know, this could be a whole lot of something, a whole lot of what is more to come, or this could just be a blip that is very, very specific to the Seattle Storm this season and what they could possibly do and whatnot. So maybe. But again, 3 of the French national team players are deciding to actually stay in the U.S. For the entire WNBA season and will not be going to EuroBasket. So that is the news. I just wanted to share that with you all. Was that informative? Did you all, I don't know, yeah, let me know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Thank you so much, Annie. Yeah, if y'all could listen to Annie and hit that like button, it really does help the channel out a whole lot. That really does help. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Emmanuel says Carla and Dominique are still not even 22 yet. Yep, they're very, very young. So to be young and in the WNBA is exciting. Plus, Carla is a part of the new Valkyries team, which must be an amazing thing to experience. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I think you're right. And Emmanuel says there isn't enough spots in the WNBA to affect EuroBasket. They need to have at least 5 European players on every team to do that. WNBA don't have the open spots and don't draft that many Europeans. Well, I don't think it takes all that. Here's the thing: all it takes is several of your top players. Like, for example, this is not happening, but in theory, if like, you know, Emma Mieseman coded players in Europe was like, actually, we're also gonna play in the WNBA during Euros, and we're not gonna worry about, like, it takes probably, I would say, at least 6 or 7 of the top 10 players in Europe to choose to not play in EuroBasket and choose to play in the WNBA. I think it'll take that. It doesn't take 5 players on each team. All it takes is 6, 7, or 8 of the top 10 players in Europe to choose the WNBA over EuroBasket to make a lot of people start to wonder. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Yes, Seattle is in a roster crunch, but they don't have to do anything. They don't need to do anything. They want to stay because, yes, not only because of the roster stuff, but also because they are looking to, like, make a lot of noise. Seattle's trying to make a lot of noise this year, right? So they didn't have to stay. They didn't need to stay. Yes, Seattle's having a roster crunch, which I will probably go over tomorrow. But yeah. Let's see. Nancy says EuroBasket may need to schedule so it allows WNBA players to be available. I think, Nancy, it's impossible though. It is impossible to schedule it in a way that works for the WNBA. Like, it just is, because EuroBasket's in Europe and the WNBA is in America. EuroBasket takes a while to complete, right? And so I don't, and also the thing is, EuroBasket is scheduled where it is so that it does not compete with club teams that play in Europe. And so, like, there's a whole bunch of scheduling stuff, and honestly, I think it's pretty much impossible for EuroBasket to change their schedule in a way that works for WNBA players and also works for all of the club teams that play, right? Because a lot of club teams, they're done around around March and April ish, and then towards the end of April, we're heading into the WNBA. What time do they really have to schedule EuroBasket? It's in an ideal world, that would be great, but, like, realistically, like, that's, I don't know how they could feasibly do it, because yeah, it's very long. It is very, very long. EuroBasket is every 2 years, and it starts on June the 18th this year. All right. Okay. On to the next topic. Guys. So, In a world where watching your favorite team means juggling between 6 different possible channels, several subscriptions, dealing with blackouts, paying for tons of streaming apps, and hoping that your app does not crash so you can watch the rest of your game, the Indiana Fever and previously the Phoenix Mercury have pulled off something amazing. And I want to talk about it. So, the Indiana Fever just announced that they have made 18 games free to watch this year. 18 Fever games free to watch. Over the air, no cable, no streaming service, no fine print, just an antenna, be in the location where it's going to be serviced, and you are in. And the great part about this is not just for Indiana residents. Fever games will air across 4 states and reach over 4.6 million households. Guys, in my opinion, this is the kind of move that could help reshape how we think about sports media. So let's break down what's happening, why it matters, and how other teams like the Phoenix Mercury are also proving that you can grow the game and give fans an accessible way to view women's basketball. Okay, so let's go through this. Let's go through this. Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Sports is getting harder and harder and more expensive to watch. It is. For WNBA fans, in order for you to keep up with your favorite team or just know what's going on in the WNBA with the entire league, you have to chase games across ABC, ESPN, Ion, Prime Video, CBS, NBA League Pass, or WNBA League Pass, NBA TV, and in the future, it'll be other networks. Not mentioning the local networks that you have to deal with. All right? And sometimes, even with all of the big places, with all of the big networks, right? Sometimes you still can't find what you're looking for because sometimes it's even blocked in your area on WNBA League Pass. So the Fever are doing something about it, right? The Fever, if y'all did not know, it was previously announced that the Indiana Fever are on national TV for 41 out of 44 games. So national TV, 41 out of 44 games. So if you're in the Indianapolis area, you have WNBA League Pass. That means, and you don't have cable. Let's say you don't have cable. That means that for 41 games, you are on a delay in order to watch it on WNBA League Pass, because if the game is nationally available, you have to wait until it's over to watch it on WNBA League Pass, right? And also if the game is locally available via cable or something in your area, you have to wait until it's over to watch it on WNBA League Pass. Now, they have rectified the situation. So again, 41 out of 44 games this year. That's the most in league history that's going to be on national television, which is great. That's fantastic. Until you realize that you need to have several platforms in order to keep up with those games. And it doesn't include blackouts or market restrictions. Okay, so when a team says, forget the paywall, just use an antenna, well, that's kind of news. That is news, guys. So, the Fever go free, all right? This is a map. If you all go on the Fever's website, you can actually zoom in and really see the locations. But this is a map of where you need to be in order to watch the Indiana Fever games for free. The Indiana Fever just announced a new partnership with Tinga, Tegna. and other local broadcasters to air 18 of their regular season games for free over the air. And this includes markets in Indiana, of course, Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, and surprise, surprise, of course, Iowa is included in there because, you got to make sure Caitlin's home state is counted for. Okay, so these games will be available over the air via antenna for over 4.6 million households. Now, that's not normal, guys, in today's media landscape. And it's a major, major, major win for casual fans who do not want to chase links, cough up a whole bunch of money each month, and or illegally watch games on YouTube with someone streaming it. When someone's like holding the camera to the TV and they're streaming the game that way. This is huge for those players. This is absolutely huge. Okay? And this is not a throwaway deal either. This is actually very strategic. This is a unprecedented thing. And here's the deal. I want to take us back to 2 years ago. Do y'all remember? And I believe it was 2022 or 2020. I believe it's 2022. The Indiana Fever had only 5 games on local TV. 5 games. The rest of those games was streamed on either Facebook or the Indiana Fever app or website. Just a couple years ago, there was only 5 games available locally in order to watch the Indiana Fever games. 5. That's it. Because the Indiana Fever just couldn't get any broadcast deals. They definitely wasn't on national TV, but even local TV, they just couldn't get it, right? They could not get it. But when we look, just fast forward 2 years or 3 years basically, and all of a sudden, wow. It's crazy. Huge. And here's the deal. The Indiana Fever with this new deal where they're making games available for free, 18 games, that's not charity, guys. It's actually very, very smart business. Last season, the Fever games on WTHR locally outperformed national TV broadcasts by 63% in terms of ratings. It's huge, right? And it proves that giving fans access and building a big, awesome product locally can actually help to build your fan base. Because think about it, guys. Think about it. Free games, free, accessible, available games online or via an antenna equals more eyeballs. And more eyeballs equals more casual fans. More casual fans turns into hardcore fans. Hardcore fans need to buy something, so they're going to buy some merch, probably buy some tickets, and build more hype. That is how you build a movement. But here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. Again, this model can work. But here's the deal. The Fever are not the only ones doing this. The Phoenix Mercury have been doing this because the Phoenix Suns started doing this. Right? The Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury announced a while ago, this has been happening for a good while, that they air their games also on antenna, over the air, accessible to anybody in that area. It's huge. Here's the deal. The Phoenix Mercury, they're airing 36 games across Arizona on Arizona Family Network or whatever, and also via over the air. So yeah, this is not a thing where the Indiana Fever just had this grandiose idea out of nowhere, and they're the only ones who came up with it. No, the Mercury have been doing this. Okay, the Mercury have been doing this. It's just that For the Mercury, in their deal, it's just, from what I understand, it's just available over the air via antenna in Arizona, from what I understand. The difference between what the Phoenix Mercury are doing and what the Indiana Fever are doing is that the Mercury is just in Arizona, and for the Indiana Fever, it's actually in 4 different states. Like it's not just in one state. So that's a difference, but yeah, Phoenix been doing this. Their NBA counterparts, the Phoenix Suns, I believe they've aired like 70 games on the, like, also available over the air, free via an antenna. Because here's the deal. That is how you build local loyalty. All right? That's the bigger picture, right? That's how you build local loyalty. That is how you can build local loyalty. Because you put your team on the screen in a way that you don't have to have any passwords. There's no blackouts. There is no, like, random stuff that you got to figure out, right? In my opinion, more teams should be doing this. And maybe some are. I'm not aware of them. The only teams I'm aware of that are doing this is the Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Mercury, and now the Indiana Fever. If someone knows of other teams that are doing this, let me know. I'll shout them out as well, because I think this is great. More teams should be doing this, absolutely, because making stuff available and accessible, can still make you money and lead to future stuff. Here's the deal. The dominant sports media model says, put everything behind a paywall. Make everybody pay for everything. Make fans jump through hoops and chase short-term cash from streaming deals. Like, that's what it's all about. Fans, pay as much money as you possibly can, because we want the games on all these networks so everybody can get some more money, and you get huge media rights deals and all that good stuff. And hey, media rights deals are fantastic. They're great. But what the Fever and what the Phoenix Suns and Mercury have figured out is that you can actually make money via over the air as well. So again, they're showing us that accessibility can equal growth. It can. All right, over-the-air TV is accessible. It's local, of course. It invites new fans in. And if you're really about growing the game of women's basketball, if you want to see, these players be crazy successful, if you want to see packed arenas, if you want to see higher salaries and whatnot, then having more visibility is not optional, guys. It's essential to the league. And here's the deal. Even with 18 games being available for free for people in these areas, the media rights deals are still in place, right? So in those areas, fans they can watch via the antenna, or they can watch it on ESPN when the games are on there, or Prime, or Ion, or whatever. My point is, you can do both. You can have these massive multi-billion-dollar deals when it comes to overall media rights for WNBA teams. You can have really lucrative local deals on cable stations, right? Like regular local deals. And you can also have free over-the-air deals as well. It all works. Right? So here's the thing. I'm not saying that every game should be free. That's not what I'm saying at all. People got to make money. Absolutely. But if you're, serious about reaching new fans, expanding the WNBA's footprint, you got to meet people where they are. Yeah? Yeah, they're on those major national networks. Yes, they're on local cable as well. And they are on over-the-air boxes as well. Okay? So, again, shout out to the Fever. Shout out to the Phoenix Mercury, who've been doing this for a long time. And let's hope that more teams can do this as well, because all teams have local networks. That's not what I'm saying. Local coverage is not what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that other teams are not doing that. Of course, other teams have local networks. What I am saying, this is free over-the-air antenna availability of these games. That's what I'm talking about. So I think this is great. I think we all need to realize that, like, the future of sports is not just all about paywalls and streaming bundles. It's about overall access. So you can have those streaming bundles, you can have the paywalls, you can have all that stuff, but also make some of it, at least a portion of it, available over the air, free antenna. I think it's cool. Would you all watch more WNBA games if you had an option like that? Let me know. And also, if you're in the areas that are affected that will be getting access to the over-the-air antenna games, let me know. Are y'all planning on watching? I'm very, very much curious. Okay? Very much curious. Very, very much curious. All right. Let's continue on. Again, as I go through this stuff, hey, let me know y'all thoughts, okay? Quintus says, Quita gives information that isn't regurgitated tabloid garbage, plus gives us lore that's interesting, and she tells me Jesus loves me. Yes. I was about to do the song. I'm not going to do it. Y'all know that Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little one, some. They are weak, but he is strong. Y'all see Mr. President butt. Anyway. Okay, I got to move on quickly because, I started late. And, I got a lot of stuff to cover. A whole lot of stuff to cover. All right, again, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Thank you. All right. Okay. Next question, please. Because actually, hold on. Let me prep this graphic real quick. I got something else I want to talk about that we are about to get into because, we'll see how many of y'all can't stand me after this video. After this segment, we'll see. We will see, guys. We will see. Okay. All right, 1 second, guys. Okay, let's go through this and y'all could let me. Peace, love, Jen says I haven't heard that song in forever. It popped in my head. I'm telling you, say a word, I sing a song. I'm telling you. Okay. All right, we'll see how many of y'all can't stand me after this. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say because I think it's true. Okay. So another Angel Reese clip has gone viral. Here's the clip, and we're gonna talk about it on the other side. Here's the clip.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom, ESPN.
Hopefully y'all heard that. I couldn't see the volume levels, so actually, I'm gonna take a quick pause. Did y'all hear that? Were y'all able to hear that sound? Were y'all able to hear that? Here, I'm gonna play it real quick again. See if y'all heard it.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom, ESPN.
Okay, so the reporter was asking if she still believed in what the reporter was asking if she still believes that she's, one of the reasons why people are watching women's basketball, like she said last year. And her response, before he finished the question, her response was, next question. And to be honest with you guys, I get it. I absolutely understand why Angel Reese said what she said, because here's the deal. She was right to say next question. She was right. Because what she said last year, there was nothing wrong with what she said last year. And people took her words last year, misconstrued them, dragged her through the headlines, and tried to make her seem crazy for simply telling the truth. So this segment is not I'm a defend Angel Reese segment. That's not what this is, because that's not my job. That's not my ministry. I'm not an Angel Reese defender. Of course I'm an Angel Reese fan. Of course she plays for the Chicago Sky. But even if she wasn't, even if she didn't, I'm a fan of her. I think she's a great player. However, this is not about defending Angel. Okay, this is about understanding why this moment matters and how we can expect to see a lot more next questions this season, not just from Angel Reese, but from WNBA players all around the league. Because at this point, they know the game. They have seen how easy it is for a comment, innocent or not, to get twisted, turned upside down for social media discourse that nobody asked for. So they are choosing, in some instances, to choose silence over taking the bait. Okay? And in Angel's case, hey, she is focused on winning, and I'm gonna talk about her and some of the things that she was talking about this year in terms of being ready to win in the W. So here's what she said last year to actually maybe I should have played this first. Here's what Angel Reese said last year, and that's how this whole question this year was based off of last year's question. I'm gonna play last year's stuff, and then anyway. All right, here's what Angel said last year.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that, because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
All right, so that's what Angel said last year. That's what she said. Honestly, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Because, she was a part of that rise. Again, the rise in women's basketball happened largely, the most recent rise, I would say, happened recently via that 2023 national championship game. Right? And she's right. She was right then, but at the time it got misconstrued. It got turned upside down. It was like, Angel is trying to downplay Caitlin's effect and blah blah blah. She's trying to take credit for all this, and dog, she was right. It wasn't just for one guy, right? And people were like, oh, she's complaining about, she's a complainer, she's a hater, she's blah, 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 blah. And she heard all that. And this year, it seems like she's like, actually, nah, I'm not gonna go into all that. And now, this is not me saying that the reporter who was going to ask that question, who didn't get his full question asked, I'm not saying that this person in particular meant anything nefarious, but I think she realized that, hey, this is something else is going to happen if I answer this, because no one's gonna be satisfied. If she answers it, people are gonna be mad. If she don't answer it, people are gonna be mad. People are gonna be mad up anyway. She can say nothing and people will still be mad. And again, before this year, before the reporter was able to fully ask the question, Angel cut him off.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next
getting
question.
Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom, ESPN.
That was no hesitation, no apology, just a boundary. Next question. And I get it. It makes a lot of sense because last year when she said what she said, she wasn't lying. The Caitlyn versus Angel thing in 2023 was a cultural spark. The 2023 national championship game was a huge turning point for women's basketball, and Angel was front and center of that. You know, she took a lot of the heat, took a lot of backlash, and, you know, took pride in being the bad guy. Well, not pride, but she, like, accepted a role that some people put her in terms of, like, taking the bad guy role, right? And that the growth, yeah, of course. Yes. Caitlyn has the biggest numbers in terms of, ticket purchases and, like, all like, you know, viewership and whatnot, but this whole rise as a whole, it wasn't just Caitlyn. It was Caitlyn and Angel that helped to bring that out. And yes, there's differences in the way their audiences react to stuff, right? It's differences in the way that their audience show out and support and all that stuff. And that's fine and dandy, but you just have to acknowledge that, like, yeah, it wasn't just one person. It was two. And actually it was even more than that. In terms of the overall rise recently for women's basketball. And yeah, but at the time she said what she said, people were not ready to hear it. We saw think pieces that poured in that said, oh, Angel's being divisive, Angel's being ungrateful, Angel's being arrogant, all because she wanted to share in the spotlight that she helped create, because she did. She didn't say she was the only person. She said it wasn't just one person. It was also her, because it was. So now she's not giving people the chance to twist her words. She's not. Okay? And so there's some people who are mad that she won't, quote unquote, stand by her words, even though it doesn't seem like she said what she said. She never walked back anything she said. But there's people who are upset that she didn't say anything, and like, oh, now you don't want to stand by what you said before, you know? And then you got other people, mad that she's even been asked that question. Either way, it's a lose-lose. If she speaks, she's gonna get dragged for it. If she stays quiet, she's gonna get dragged for it. This is the game that we're playing now in the world of women's basketball media, right? It's a very polarizing place, all right? And it is what it is. It is what it is. Angel's still herself. She still, is going to say whatever she wants, but it seems like she's definitely going to be probably more cautious and like, hey, I'm going to set my boundaries. I'm not, like, I said what I said. There's nothing else to say this year. Because if I say something again this year, now it's going to be a whole new media firestorm. And now her saying next question is a whole media firestorm. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of wild, right? She's not here for media opinions. She's here to win games, and she's here for her teammates. She's looking to win. She's looking to make some noise. She's looking to make the playoffs and helping to lead the Chicago Sky team. Tyler Marsh has been singing Angel's praises throughout training camp. Talking about that she's like trying to unlock new levels of her game. You got Courtney Vandersloot talking about Angel's competitive fire and how driven she is. You got Haley Van Liff, talking about how Angel's there to hype her up and support her and all that stuff, hold her accountable, all that good stuff. Here's the deal. Angel is looking to win. She's looking to feed into her teammates and looking to just make some noise. So yeah, we may hear a whole lot more no comments. Yes, from Angel, but also I highly anticipate other players as well, because it's not just Angel's comments that like when she said something, it just went way bigger and whatnot because people wanted wild think pieces and all this other stuff. Anyway, whether or not you like Angel or not, you cannot deny that she has helped bring eyes on the game of women's basketball. She's still drawing headlines, regardless if she answers a question or not. And it seems like she's done letting people kind of control her narrative. She's like, hey, next question. It wasn't a dodge. Next question is a full sentence. Because maybe we should just stop asking the same questions over and over again. And maybe instead we should start watching and seeing what she's doing on the court instead. Maybe, just maybe. Because Angel Reese is hit a hoop. If you ask her a question about the basketball level at all, I'm sure she'll answer it. But I think if you're answering all like the stuff that is going to be clickbait for everybody in the future, she probably won't answer it. And hey, I think that makes a lot of sense. Don't be surprised if she or other WNBA players hit us with that next question comment because, yeah. I don't know. That's my thoughts about it. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully I didn't just ramble and make no sense at all. Hopefully I made sense in this one. Yeah, what do y'all think? Do y'all think the next question was the right move or do you think she owed fans a response? Either way, all I know is that basically the season opener, the May 17th game is going to be wild. It's going to be a must watch between Sky versus Fever. And I'm pretty sure she's going to have some next questions during that post-game presser because, yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions that won't actually really be about the game or thinly veiled around the game, but it's actually really about something else to try to get the next viral comment to go crazy. But yeah, that's my thoughts there. Yeah, what do y'all think? Let me know what y'all got to say in the chat. Emmanuel says people saying answer the question need to understand reporters just use a part of it to change the context. It's what they do all the time, which is why she didn't answer. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's interesting. Shay says silence is golden. It can be. It can be, but again, regardless if you say something, regardless if you don't, it's still going to be a whole media firestorm, that's for sure. Con Landon, thank you so much, says, congrats on 35,000 subscribers. You're on your way to 50,000 before the year's over. I don't know. Hopefully. I think that'd be fun. Hopefully. That would be very, very, very fun. Cliff says chestnut checkers. Yep, facts. All right. Oh, I got some super chats I did not acknowledge. Wow. Thank you so much, Jay, for the super chat. Thank you for your support. I really do appreciate your support. Salute to you, Jay. Salute to you. It really does help the channel out a whole lot because sneak peek, me and Mama are making ourselves a little set for future live streams. So that's in progress and that costs a lot of money. So anyway. It's really cool. We just got some furniture yesterday, and I'm like, okay, it's expensive, but I actually think this is gonna help the channel out a whole lot. So anyway, we coming up there. And the super chats and whatnot really do help. Aisha, thank you so much for the super chat. Says people staying putting them against each other, but no one talk about how good they played together for All-Star Game. They are grown and professionals now. They should stop letting these reporters in. Yeah, I mean, because negativity drives stuff. Negativity drives. So if you can pit, if you can say, Angel versus Caitlyn in a negative way, and say, Angel just dissed Caitlyn or didn't acknowledge Caitlyn, whatever. If you can do that, it'll rev people up and get people upset. More than, wow, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, imagine if they were teammates. Imagine how great they would be and blah, 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 blah. Because, look what they did on the All-Star Game. That, no one's really going to watch that. The people going to watch the negative stuff because that's what people do. That's human nature, which is unfortunate. But they can't stop letting reporters in. No. They can't do that. Because I really do like the role of reporters in the locker room. I think they do a good job. Now, is some of it wild, kind of, yeah. But like, overall, I think they do a really, really good job. They're reporters. So can't stop letting players. You cannot stop letting them in. But you can say, hey, athlete, if you don't want to answer the question, just say next question. Don't walk out. Don't do nothing like that. Just say next question. That's all. Sharice, thank you so much for the super chat. Salute to you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Let's see. Thank DW says good reporting is dying out though, unfortunately. I don't know if it's dying out or if it just doesn't lead to a lot of views. Like there's a lot of really good reporters who like no one really rocks with, or really good reporters who no one reads their stuff or like watches their stuff because it's not like geared for clickbait and whatnot. Like here's the deal. Like, have y'all noticed that like a lot of newspapers all around the country are closing? A lot of like journalistic places are closing down. I don't actually believe that reporting good reporting is dying out. I don't. I think that the problem is the support for good reporting is dying out. Which is why, if people want to kind of stay in the game, they have to change their tactics. They have to change stuff because they're like, oh, when, I'm going to write all these articles that are like really, really good, that are very like, great reporting, but like it's not sensational. So like people are not going to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like I think there's a lot of still really, really awesome reporters. A lot. It's just that the other fluff stuff will, for the most part, get a lot of views. Like it just will. And people will be upset at real reporters because they'll be upset because like it's like, they'll be like, hey, you hate my team, you hate all this and whatnot. And it's like, nah, I'm just reporting, Eric says the dumb Sky fan, they're not dumb. They're just Anyway, the Eric is saying Sky fans chased away Annie Constable, the best Sky reporter, because she reported the truth. One, I don't think they chased her away. I think she went and got a bigger bag at Front Office Sports. That's what I think. I don't think anybody chased her away because like dog, like I don't think that. I don't think they chased their way, but I did see some wild people, and I'm just like, why y'all going in on this lady? This lady is the best reporter, basically the best reporter in the WNBA, and y'all going after her because she said something y'all didn't like about something, But there were some wild people, and I see people that's like, they treat people who like are actually doing like real reporting, real coverage, and they're like, oh, you hate my team, or you hate my favorite player because the news that they got to report on is not the news that you like. But at the end of the day, that lady, oh my goodness, that lady was like the best reporter ever. And people, I'm actually very sad that she's not covering this guy anymore. I really am. I really am. I really am. But nah, she didn't get chased away by nobody. She left and got a bigger bag, I'm sure. Speculation, but I'm sure. So, yeah. Anyway, I gotta go. I was going to do another story about Sabrina Ionescu, but I have ran out of time, so I will do that tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll do that Sabrina Ionescu story about Sabrina Day. Anyway, that's the stream. What do y'all think? Let me know what y'all thoughts are on the topics that we covered today. You like them, you don't. What are your thoughts? Let me know about your thoughts on my perspective. Do y'all think I'm crazy on some of the thoughts I had? Like, am I like wild? Nah, Angel should have answered the question. Or are y'all like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, what do y'all think? Let me know. I'm curious. Anyway, y'all have a great rest of your day. Be kind to someone. Tell somebody that they matter because they absolutely do. I am like tongue twisting my words because I don't know. I guess I gotta get some more water. I don't know. Anyway, Tulu says, Quita, we need you to finish the WNBA team preview. Yes, I got off of that. I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna get on it. Okay. My apologies for all of the people who are looking forward to me finishing up that every team overview type of thing. I am going to finish it. I promise. I'm going to finish it, okay? I just got a little distracted. Apologies. I got a little distracted. On like other stuff I wanted to cover. But yeah. I promise I'll be back to it. Okay? Brian says, Quita is truly one of the best content creators on women's basketball. Reasonable, down the middle, doesn't play favorites, perfect. Not perfect, but I hope I'm like decent enough. That's my slogan. A lot of effort, but hopefully it's decent enough. I wish I was perfect though. That'd be nice. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Actually, yeah, I don't know. That'd be crazy. None of us are perfect. Kind of wish we were though sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much, Tier, I think. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. Salute to you for your support. Says, keep up the great work and being sincere. I will try my best to. I will try. Because here's the deal. I love what we do here. And this is a fun time. This is a chance for us to hang out, to learn something new, to enjoy. And here's the deal. I love looking up stuff. And, I love researching. I love letting people know what I found out. And hopefully that's of interest to y'all. If not, there's a whole bunch of other channels that y'all can watch that probably won't be as in-depth or as like randomly down the rabbit hole as me. So y'all could do whatever y'all want. But anyway, the fact that y'all are here, I appreciate you. I thank you. I gotta go to work. I keep rambling. I will see y'all in the next one. Tell somebody that they matter because they do. If no one has told you, you matter. You are important. I'm happy that you are on this earth. Guys, I love you. But most importantly, guys, Jesus loves you. And he wants a relationship with you. Guys, see y'all in the next one. See y'all tomorrow. We'll have that Celebrity and Escu story tomorrow. Sorry about running out of time. See y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.